It's a carousel of color. Wonderful, wonderful color.
Walt Disney presents
The wonderful world of color.
this week from Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color, Disneyland Around the Seasons. And now your host, Walt Disney.
This is not Santa's workshop. It's just one section of a creative world where new attractions for Disneyland are conceived. Now, a great deal of time, sweat, and a few tears were expended on all this, but there's a lot of satisfaction in developing ideas into realities which become a part of Disneyland. Now, we've just finished the first year of our second decade. It was a big year for the opening of many new attractions. Since they were opened, 7 million people have enjoyed them. So we'd like for you to see and enjoy them too. But first, let's turn back the calendar to the beginning of Disneyland's second decade. It all began when the new year started off with a... Well, as you can see, the past year has been a big one for us. It gave us a good start into Disneyland's second decade. But even now, we're thinking ahead and creating new attractions for months and years to come. And speaking of the very near future, we'll be back in 1 minute to tell you about our next program.
Hey diddle diddle, next week there's a riddle. The truth about Mother Goose.
Now, the encyclopedia tells you that Mother Goose was an old lady from Boston. Well, don't you believe it?
What is the truth about Mother Goose? Professor Ludwig Sherlock von Drake reads between the lines of her rhythms and rhyme to discover what the old gal really had to say.
Oh, dear.
We'll look into the trouble caused by the Jack Horner affair. We'll be there for the inside goings-on behind London Bridge's case of the fallen arches. Then, fearlessly on his own, Professor Von Drake will sneak in a little truth about Walt Disney and a familiar bit of fantasy with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
African Zulus used to tell it. American Indians told it. And everybody practically who told this tale gave it different character.
Yes, next week, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about Mother Goose on Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color.